We know that such a large number of you have come here, walking all the way from St. Peter's. Thank you very much for your presence. I thought it would be good to just in 2 or 3 minutes tell you what this is about, because there's a lot of disinformation also going around. So very simply, a few days before Christmas, we got notification that a notice was going to be posted on the wall here, saying that in 7 days' time, a part of the graveyard there right in front is going to be taken away for road widening, and we have 7 days to answer. Now, this is just a few days before Christmas, so you can imagine it's not a time when we can, galvanize and make responses of this type, which is both a type of legal issue as well as a sentimental and religious issue. So we did, through our ex-corporator, Mr. Asif Zakaria, we represented to the municipality, and they were very gracious in saying, okay, within an hour, in fact, they withdrew the notices and they said they will now serve them in the new year. And that's what happened. On the 2nd of January, they came to St. Peter's. By the way, this notice is also served across the road to the Jewish cemetery. And the representative of the Jewish cemetery, Mr. Abraham Yehuda, is here. He'll address you for just a minute or so. So the two of us received these notices on the 2nd in St. Peter's. Now after that, of course, we informed the community. We had to inform the grave holders there, their families. And then, as you know, on the 6th, 5th or 6th, we had that meeting at St. Peter's, to which many of you had come. We were grateful for that because it was a show of support. In the meantime, we gave a legal response to the municipality, and finally, because of the upcry from so many, not just you, but people from all over Mumbai, even people of other faiths, they were saying this is not acceptable. And so because of that, the municipality tentatively withdrew the notice, or rather gave a letter saying they are withdrawing the notice. However, that notice was was mentioning the word presently, which means it was temporary. That notice had not been served on either of the two cemeteries. And finally, another notice, so you can imagine that notice that was spread in social media was withdrawn. The withdrawal notice was withdrawn. And a third notice was served to Mr. Yehuda and to me at St. Peter's a couple of days ago. So my friends, the point that I'd like to make is that this is really something that has come because of an amendment to the development plan of the city. I think we all know that, all these roads and developing different areas, etc., that has to do with the development plan. I think for 20 or 30 years they had that plan. Now that plan was very urgently, I would say, suddenly amended in September 2022, just a few months ago. And those amendments were not shown to any of us. And those amendments have made this very narrow road, we have all passed through that road, as the main DP road. And the other side, if you look behind this tree there and behind the Jewish cemetery, you have a large road there, which was the main DP road. It is still shown on the website of the municipality as the main DP road. That has been made into an 18-meter road by taking away some of the church property itself. Nirmala Colony gave up a lot of land in that area some years ago. Now that road was cancelled in this amendment, and this road has been made as the main road to give access to the slums and to the development plans of the. This really does not show any application of mind, because everyone knows that this road is a very narrow road and that there are more than a century old cemeteries. At least ours is more than a century. The one across is almost a century. And so you can see that if we are going to be just silent spectators to something like this, I think it's not just the Christian and the Jewish community that will suffer, but arbitrary decisions of this type, really everyone suffers. And so that's the reason why we all have to raise our voice in a peaceful manner. I think we should all ask our representatives of the state government here in Mumbai, how is that such an amendment was made? Because it's nice to say, okay, we'll remove it now. But why was it done without an application of mind? Or was it done deliberately with an application of mind to, cause this type of upheaval? Really, we don't know. We wouldn't want to impute motives, but definitely it was something that needed an application of mind by the government and our representatives before they actually notified it and started acting. And that is the question that I'd like to put to all of you. And I think we should all ask for answers from our representatives. Why was the DP changed arbitrarily like this in September? And all of a sudden these notices are being served. So if we get an answer to that, perhaps we'll understand. But to disturb two cemeteries which are age-old when there is an alternative road that is already there the other side, that is not reasonable and therefore it's not acceptable. I think the DP, we have not been able to study those amendments yet, but I think the DP has made changes which all of us should be involved in. That's what democracy is about. By the way, this movement of all of us, more than 1,000 people, is what democracy is about. It's good democracy. The fact that we are not being silent means that we value democracy and we value the need to make a statement, to be involved in public policy. So let me end with just this. I'm very grateful on behalf of the parishioners of St. Peter's and of many other parts of Bandra. I'm sure you know that we have permanent graves here of people from different parishes, not just of St. Peter's. So from all over Bandra, there are people who have their graves here. Their loved ones for generations have been buried here. I have been getting phone calls even from Australia and Canada saying what is happening because our grandfathers and grandparents are buried there and we would not like anything to happen. So you can see that there is a great turmoil that has been caused by this, and we would really require answers. But what the ultimate is that the amendments definitely affecting areas like this should be amended. They need to be discussed with representatives of citizens from the area before any major change of this type takes place. So thank you very much for your participation, and I think we need to keep this up because that's what democracy is about. I'm grateful to so many priests here and nuns, and of course all of you lay people who have taken the trouble of walking all the way, coming all the way here and showing your solidarity with us. We are grateful for that. We will continue to be in prayer together, and we pray for one another, and we pray for the authorities, as the prayer said a little earlier, that they may have a change of heart. Only God can bring that about, and we claim the power of Jesus to bring about this change so that we may live peaceful lives in Bandra and in Mumbai. Thank you and God bless.